everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my grotto. So you may have noticed that I'm wearing the same clothes as I was in the last video, and that's because I decided to sit down and just film away. So today I'm going to be doing the Around the World book tag. This tag was created by Henry over at Henry's Bookshelf. I was actually tagged to do this video by Henry himself little after his video went up, and I am super late on doing it, but here I am. So let's just get right into it. North America, a book you read with diverse characters. So for this one, I actually went with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, because this isn't your typical set of characters that you normally see in YA, just like this isn't your typical YA novel. So I went ahead and said The Hate You Give. And I'm not going to really say much about what this book is or any of these other books are, because I feel like a lot of these are pretty popular. So I'm not really going to go into it. Next question is South America. A book you've read written by a Latin American author. So with this one, I struggled a little bit because I actually haven't read a lot by Latin American authors. Like, I have a lot of Latin American authors in my TBR, but I haven't read many of them. So I went with something a little different. I don't know if you guys in the booktube community are going to know at all what this is or who this is, but I'm going to bring it up because this is the only thing that really came to mind with this one. Querida Doctora Polo. This is a show that's really popular in like the Hispanic channels. She's kind of like Judge Judy, but a lot better. But I don't really know how to describe her. Like, that's really what she does. She has people who have cases or who have issues, and she brings them in and she kind of listens to the case, and then she just basically gives like a verdict. These books are basically cases that didn't make it to the TV show, so she put them all together in a book, and she still like gave an answer or gave like a verdict throughout this book for each case. So it's just a collection of different cases and her just like talking about them and her like giving a verdict for it and like kind of giving advice. So this is probably what I'm going to go with, just because this is what really came to mind when I was going through these questions. And I don't know, it's kind of silly, I don't know, it just go with it, it's fine. Europe, a book you hate the cover of but love the content. So with this one, I'm going to go with the Cat and Bone series by Jenny Frost. These, I don't know, there's like 10 of these. I don't know which number these guys are, and I'm not done with the series, but I actually really, really love these books. You can see the cover is terrible. I hate the cover. They're just like super cheesy covers that I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate these covers. And these girls, like, they're not even the same one, and they're supposed to be the same character. I hate these covers so much, but I love the content for these. These are books that you don't really see too much in the booktube community. All I'm going to say about these books and what they are is Cat, who is a vampire slayer, and we have Bones, who is a vampire, and things happen, and there's just steaminess, goodness, vampire creatures out there. I really love this book. I haven't finished the series. I'm like more than halfway through with it, but I've loved it so far, and I love Cat and Bones, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And I'm sorry that that synopsis didn't really make sense, but I felt like if I go into detail with them, I'm gonna totally ruin all the series, and you know, there might be someone who might be interested in reading these out there. So Asia, if you can make everyone read one book, what would it be and why? So for this one, I'm gonna have to go back to The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I feel like this is such an important read. Like, it's so different from any YA that's out there, and I feel like it's such an important read, especially, you know, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and just like police brutality that is happening. I just feel like it's so important for people to read this, even if they hate it, if they love it. I just think it's important for people to see this and read this, just because of the world that we live in right now. All right, so my phone died, which is my camera, so I had to go to a place where there was good lighting and an outlet to plug in my phone. So we're just gonna keep going and pretend that nothing ever happened. Yeah? Good. So the next question is Africa, a book that has been with you through thick and thin, one of your oldest books. And for this one, I obviously have to pick the Harry Potter series. I can't find my first one. I know it's buried somewhere, so I just picked up the second one. But the entire Harry Potter series, this has been with me since these books first came out. I've reread them so many times. I've bought in so many different copies because I've worn the other ones out. These have just been with me through everything. Australia, what is the largest book you own? So I feel like every time this question gets brought up in a tag or anything, it's always It by Stephen King. So I decided to do my second biggest book, this paperback, which is The Fireman by Joe Hill. This I actually have not read yet. It's in my TBR. This is 747 pages, I believe. So this is probably one of my bigger books. Unless, is The Court of Mist and Fury bigger than this? I think it is. You know, I think some of the Harry Potter books might be bigger than this. Okay, it's one of my bigger books. Okay, so Harry Potter, The Order of the Phoenix. The Order of the Phoenix? Yeah, that's the biggest one I think I own. It's like over 800 pages. I don't know. It's either that or this one. I have a lot of big books. I don't know. Next question is Antarctica. A book you hate so much you want to throw into the Antarctic desert for it to be forgotten by humanity. Okay, this one might be an unpopular opinion, so no one murder me, please. But for this one, I actually have to go with Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Madison. I hated this book so much. This was one of the books that I first read when I was starting to get back into reading, like several years ago after I went through like a 3-year reading slump. This was one of the first books I picked up, and I absolutely hated it. I hated it so much. From what I remember, and again, this has been a while since I read this, so bear with me if this is not right, but from what I remember, like one of the girls leaves her friend and she leaves without a note, but she leaves without saying goodbye, but she leaves like a list of things for her friend to do while she's gone. I don't know, but then she finds her and it's just like the stupidest thing ever, because she's just like, I just had a hard time saying goodbye, so I left you this note instead. And then they go back to being friends. And I just remember when I was reading this, it was not, I was so like, this is so stupid. This is stupid. I don't like it. Maybe I'll read it again. Maybe I won't like hate it as much now that I've been reading a lot more YA. After I read this, I was really hesitant about reading any more YA, and I got over that really quick, but I just remember hating this so much. And a last question is Moon, a book so good that throws you like a rag doll into outer space. So for this question, I could have said several different books, but I wanted to bring up a book that I absolutely love, and it's probably in the top 5 of my favorites, and that is, of course, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I love this book so much. The feels that I feel with this book are just the romance is just so pure and innocent, and it's just, I love this book so much. And again, I could have picked like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other books for this question, but I just feel like I don't talk about how much I love this book enough, so I felt like this was a good time for me to bring it up and say, hey, I love this book. This is a good book. Alright guys, that is it for the Around the World book tag. Thank you so much to Henry for the tag, and if you have not checked out Henry's bookshelf, which is his channel, again, it is linked down below, so you should definitely go check it out because he is hilarious. He is awesome. So go do that. Give him a like, give him a subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again next time.